afternoon, everyone. This is John Stanley Media, and I am John Smansky, your host for this brief, concise market update minute. We're going to run down a lot of different things that might help you out. Again, this is not specific financial advice, as we would always recommend you consult your own financial advisor for specific advice, but this is definitely informative and could very well help you stay ahead of the curve and keep your money intact. So what I want to look at right now today is I was pretty pessimistic with everything going on my prior podcasts, just because the market was not showing any really good trends for going up. This is starting to change right now because what we are seeing right here, and I'm just going to pull up a little bit of the Dow chart right here. You should be able to see this right now as it's coming up here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this Dow chart right now. We see that the moving average here is hitting well above as we start going to 25,000. Possibly this Dow should be moving up over 30,000 within time. Much of this is because we're kind of on low volume. We had high volume on the sell-off, but then earlier in the last few weeks, we've had high volume buying back. So that's great news. However, overall, it's a very volatile and speculative market. Even though I do see the trends going up, which is an indicator that we need to go ahead and buy right now, we do need to take a look at precautionary and hedging measures. So I would still carry triple level inverses on any long positions and or protect yourself with out of the money put options, or even in the money put options if you have highly concentrated positions. One thing to do is to make yourself what's called a collar, which is where you're buying puts, selling calls, and you're helping mitigate and hedge a highly concentrated position. Say you have $100,000 in one stock. We want to be able to protect that, but then we don't also want to spend tons of money. So when you have that highly concentrated position, you can do this collar, which we'll talk about at another podcast. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves with that, because right now we want to try to keep it simple in this market, because we don't know what's going to happen. Upcoming elections could do anything. Despite the coronavirus, the riots, and everything else, things have turned out a lot better than what one might have suspected and what the prior trends were showing. So again, I'm into the trend. So when the trend's up, I get positive and I say go with that, but still protect yourself and hedge yourself, because there's so many what we call black swan events, which now these black swan events are so predictable that they're just regular stuff. As we see, a great site here is Market Watch. You might want to use this site. It's great. We see stock market on the rise as Wall Street focuses on easing coronavirus lockdowns amid unrest. And as we see up here, we see all the markets trending up. And I want to take a look today at your money, at the money shot here. The money call is Western Union. Look at this trend. It's well over its 90-day average. It's moving up. I think this stock, you see, it was at least near $30 previously. I think good times or bad times, it's a great stock to have, because in bad times, like right now, people are probably sending money. You need to send money to loved ones. We become an increasingly globalized society where people need to send money everywhere. If because of all of this coronavirus, all the rioting, all the things that are negative, it's taking a toll on America. But when things take a toll on America, think about what it does to the rest of the third world. So these people are possibly even hurting a lot more. And there's a lot of people in America that have friends, family, relatives overseas. They're going to need to send money. So sending it both domestically and overseas. So that said, let's go ahead and talk about it's pretty good to get into this. A speculative stock, this is highly speculative. You want to be a gambler, I would say NAT. It's a tanker stock. Also Transocean. You might want to take a look at that. I'm not necessarily putting a buy recommendation on them, but they're definitely worth considering if you want to try to speculate on the fact that the oil industry has been so depressed because of all the downturns and uh, everything being closed up. So let's take a look at those stocks. In summary, today, the money pick of the day is Western Union stock. So we're going to continue to monitor that. The overall markets are trending up, doing well, so that's a positive sign. But the caveat for today too here is no matter what you're doing, hedge and mitigate yourself, because this is still a very volatile market. And under normal circumstances, this type of uptrend, I would say, is definitely an all-in into the market. But given all the global events happening and everything else, they can, even these uptrends can be knocked out at any minute, any given moment, for additional crashes or other things. But right now, mm, short term, midterm, I think it's okay to cautiously get back into the markets and look for the winners. There's always winners in the market. Just like Jesse Livermore said back in the 1930s. And Kramer tries to steal now. Bears make money, bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered. So again, I know he kind of coins that phrase, but it's actually back coined by the original best trend investor, Jesse Livermore. That's another takeaway for today. Look him up. We'll talk about him more on other podcasts and more about trend investing, why it's the best way to go. Trends are always the best thing to look at for um, for most things, for choosing your life path, for choosing your investments, for choosing everything. The trends tell us a lot. They don't always trends. Past trends don't always predict future trends, but for the most part, it's one of the best ways to go. That and overall knowledge of geopolitical events, governments, politics, because those things can trump anything. Because laws and ordinances can negate all the financial fiscal policies that exist today, and really they're things we need to keep an eye on. We'll talk more about those type of events and other podcasts, and also with my other geopolitical podcasting that I do. I'll let you all know about those later. I've already taken up the amount of time that we need to spend today. Again, I want to be concise, clear, and to the point, and getting you the information as fast as possible, so you don't have to spend as much time digging around with this information. But still, it's always best to do your additional own research on anything I talk about or others talk about. So again, this is not specific financial advice, that you should consult your financial advisor, and you really should come up with an overall financial plan. But this is probably one of your best sources to go to become informed and to have a good game plan for your financial future. Again, this is John Szymanski, and this has been John Stanley Media. And we thank you for your time today, and we thank you for being here. So look for us again on our daily podcast. Thanks again. Have a great day.